All right. Okay, so welcome to our Court of Honor. If you're able, please stand to open this National Court of Honor. I'd like to call on our Senior Patrol Leader, Cecilia Cardone, for the presentation of the colors.
Color guard attention. Color guard forward march. Color guard hold. Color guard prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. Right hand salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard return to post. About face ready. And color guard forward march. Color guard hold. About face ready. And color guard at ease.
Thank you. Please be seated. I now declare this National Court of Honor in session. Ladies and gentlemen, Scouts and Scouters, family and friends, those joining us online, my name is Arthur Maliso, and I am the Assistant Scoutmaster with the troop. I will be your Master of Ceremonies for this Eagle Court of Honor. I am currently the Assistant Scoutmaster in charge of our troop program, which was formerly known as the traditional program. And over the years, I've had the honor and privilege to work with the Scouts that are receiving the rank of Eagle today. You know, I was working with them from when they came from the New Scout program into the traditional program, and I've seen them grow from, you know, 6th graders up to now where they're all seniors and graduating now. So it's amazing from my point of view to be able to see the growth of a Scout from when they join the troop to when they reach the pinnacle of scouting as an Eagle Scout. The Eagle journey is a tough and lengthy journey. Some Scouts finish their journey earlier in their scouting careers. Others finish right before or right on their 18th birthday. But no matter when they complete this journey, it's a great personal achievement. As part of the Eagle Board of Review, there's a discussion with the candidates as to what an Eagle Scout means in their lives and the life of our country. So later we'll hear from Scott Waldron, who will explain the journey from Scout rank to Eagle. So when the candidate leaves the Board of Review, we want them to leave with one conclusion, with one thought, to know what it means to be an Eagle. And being an Eagle means that you are a person who can get things done. So we're here to celebrate 3 Scouts who have reached the pinnacle of their journey and have attained the rank of Eagle Scout. So I have the honor of recognizing 3 extraordinary Scouts for the award of Eagle: Fernando Gonzalez, Nathan Perinpanaygam, and Colin Smith. So these 3 Scouts have joined the now 264 other Scouts since 1972 that have earned the rank of Eagle in our troop. So that's 267 Scouts that have shown that they can get the job done. So if we look at 100 youth that have joined Scouting, you know, what happens to those youth? Well, 12 of them, this will be the first time they actually have a religious contact is when they join Scouting. 5 of them will go so far as to earn their religious emblem. 2 will enter the clergy. 18 will develop hobbies based on merit badges and other things that will last a lifetime. 8 will enter a career based on merit badge work they did in Scouting. 17 will go on to become Scout volunteers. 1 will use Scouting skills to save the life of another person. 1 will use Scouting skills to save their own lives. 28 will continue lifelong hobbies started in Scouting. And out of that 100, 3 will reach the rank of Eagle Scout. So again, this is a very a difficult and long journey, and it's something that, we're celebrating today for these 3 scouts. So at this time, I'd like to call forward our Crew Associate Advisor, Connie Nye, to introduce Fernando J. Gonzalez. And at this time, I would ask that our honor guard escort Fernando to the stage.
Takes 4 of them to get you up there, huh? All right. I think they were afraid you were going to run, blocking his exit. Hey, kiddo. So I was watching the Oscars last week, and Mick Jagger, most of you don't know, never mind, he was presenting Best Song. And one of the first things he said when he got up there was, "While I'm really honored to be here, I know I wasn't your first choice." That being said, that's how I feel. I am very honored to be here. But like I said, I know I wasn't your first choice, right? So, and I know it was Big Easy, and I know this because he said it's because he's cooler than I am, and I'm okay with that because I think he's a really cool guy. But I did talk to him about what he would have said, because I really know he wanted to be here. And first of all, congratulations from Big Easy. And what I was pleased to find out was that him and I shared many of the same thoughts and feelings as far as knowing you is concerned. So it made it pretty easy. So this is a collaboration between me and Big Easy. Okay. And I'm supposed to tell you that the cooler things are from him. Okay. What can I say? Big Easy, big ego, you pick. All right. One of the things that we agree on is you're pretty much always upbeat, right? You flash that famous Gonzalez smile. It's always ready. It's always there. Everybody knows that when they come up to you, it's just going to be a good day. You're always willing to pitch in. You never hesitate. And not only do you jump in and help with what you're being asked to help with, but usually put your own spin on it that ends up with a better result than we were anticipating was going to happen in the first place. We are both a bit dismayed that you are such a big U of M fan, but we all can't be perfect, just saying. Okay. Leading by example. Most of the time, you lead by example. Now, the one example we wish you hadn't led by is, we lost count of how many years it did take you to do Cooking Merit Badge, and we're not sure actually which one of us you finished it with. Neither one of us could remember, but we know we both had a hand in that, but it might have taken you a skosh longer than it really should have to get that one done. Okay. But in all seriousness, when you're faced with learning something, mastering it, getting it done by a deadline, that smile might still be there. The skills for a merit badge, the materials needed, the smile might still be there, but there's an inner strength that comes out, gets it done, makes it happen, and it's never in doubt when it comes to you that it is going to get done and that it is going to happen. Being a good influence on younger scouts, what you are going to find is that the impression that you have left on younger scouts, on your peers, on family and friends will be influenced by what you've done in scouting, and most of the time you won't even know you've made that impression or left that impression or what kind of impact that you have made. It'll be years from now when somebody will actually say to you, and they'll tell you what a difference you've made, and that's an amazing feeling. And standing up here, receiving Eagle is testimony to that. Being lucky enough to know your family and be friends with your family, and having lived through your older brother, all of these qualities that Brian and I agree that you have embraced and grown with and made so wonderful we just look at your family. We know that your family's important. We know that they've supported you, and it goes without saying that they are proud of you today. But we all need family like that. And I'm lucky to know them. You're lucky that you have them, but you know that. And but part of that family is what got you here today, and it shows. And Brian and I both just wanted to say congratulations, and that we are so very, very proud of you. Congratulations, Fernando.
All right, thank you, Connie. So, you know, it's an important thing, as what Connie said out there, is that, you know, this does take a lot of support. It takes support from your family. It takes support from other scouts. It takes support from just, you know, the troop in general. So, you know, it takes a lot of work to get to this point, and it takes a lot of other people to help them get there. So, you know, one of the big parts of doing, of reaching Eagle is completing an Eagle project. And an Eagle project is something you have to go through a lot of steps to get there. You have to come up with a plan. You have to put that plan down in writing. You have to get that plan approved by first our troop advisor, and then after our troop advisor approves it, council has to approve it. And sometimes you go to your troop advisor and you say, here's what my Eagle project's going to be. They look at it and say, well, maybe it needs to be tweaked a little bit. So, you know, sometimes you have a give and take when you first start with your Eagle project. And then once you get there and you get it done, now you have to execute it. And the Eagle project, yes, it's important to actually build something or do something. But the most important part of the Eagle project is actually showing leadership. That's what we want to do. We are our Eagles are going to be the future leaders of our country, and they need to show leadership, and that's what we do in an Eagle project. Yeah, they could build it themselves, but what they need to do is show that they can lead a team of other youth to help get that project done. And, you know, there's no set amount of time that it takes to do an Eagle project. But, you know, there's a lot of Eagle projects that happen every year in this country. And what do you think the amount of hours are spent to complete Eagle projects in a year in this country? So would you believe it if I told you it's 9.1 million hours every year for Eagle projects to be completed? So there's a lot of great work being done for our community, whether it's for our parks or our churches or whatever civic groups we're helping out. You know, that's part of what they do, is reach out to get that done. So it's a very important accomplishment as part of their journey to Eagle. So at this point, I would like to have the Honor Guard escort Nathan Perinpanaygam to the stage. And I am going to call forward Assistant Scoutmaster Jason Pernick to introduce him.
Thank you, Arthur. Well, despite the fact that I'm a trial lawyer by trade, Connie Nye always does a better job at presenting than I do. And she does it without much in the way of notes. I can't do that. I have to prepare my remarks ahead of time to make sure that I don't miss anything. And so I hope you'll forgive me as I read my prepared remarks. As anyone in scouting can attest, this program is a journey. The path runs from childhood to the doorstep of adulthood. As leaders, we get a chance to be part of a scout's journey to adulthood, hopefully providing some guidance along the way. We never know what lesson will stick. Nathan Perinpanaygam started his journey to Eagle as a 6-year-old Tiger in Pack 321. Moving to Pack 110, he eventually crossed over to Troop 179. I wondered why he picked his troop, and I asked him. Without hesitating, he told me it was the food. At a Weeblos event, our adult patrol, the Goats, had cooked the meals that won him over. Another scout ensnared by goat cooking. I wish I had a thin mustache that I could twirl and laugh fiendishly. As a young scout, Nate looked up to the scouts of our leadership development patrol, the Axemen, not believing that he had what it took to join them. He particularly looked up to Evan Budgery and Jake DeRocher. Eventually, he was asked to join the Axemen and was proud of his accomplishment, but knew that he had big shoes to fill. Nate moved through leadership roles, assistant patrol leader, troop guide, quartermaster, and chaplain's aide. He was having fun, but gaining responsibility led him to new insight. He learned about leadership, about commitment, about service to others. Nate told me that the highlight of his scouting career was his trip to Philmont in 2021. He had a great time, had lots of fun. He enjoyed meeting scouts from all over the United States, but he especially enjoyed the time he spent with the other members of his crew. Nate came to realize that the physical challenge of the trek provided the opportunity to learn about himself, to realize his capabilities, and rise to challenges big and small, whether it was the need to complete a goal despite fatigue or to deal with all the bugs. Asked about his most valuable merit badge, Nate told me that the personal finance merit badge with Mark Philibom and Art Malisau taught him skills he knows he will use. In addition to planning a career as an electrical engineer, Nate plans to deal in real estate, and he knows the skills that he learned will help him be successful. As an Eagle, Nate realizes that this journey has really been a great investment. He credits his parents with starting him in scouting, knowing that it could produce people like President Gerald Ford, Director Steven Spielberg, and so many others. Nate's parents wanted him to be in scouting, to be an Eagle, because they knew scouting provided an opportunity to learn what was needed to be a success on whatever path Nate chose to follow. All of us know that the journey to Eagle teaches scouts life lessons as they learn skills. Nate told me about one such lesson. At a recent summer camp, maybe last year, Nate and his patrol members were detailed to help the goats in the kitchen. I was responsible for the after-meal cleanup, and Nate was doing the dishes. It was late in the week, we were all tired, but nonetheless the work had to be done. Nate was working on cleaning a cake pan. He remembered it was a pineapple upside down cake. Apparently the cake, like this lesson, had really stuck. Nate was just finishing with the pan when I came along. I took one look at it and told him it wasn't clean. He had to clean it again thoroughly. I could tell Nate was tired and frustrated. There must have been about a dozen places he would have rather been, and maybe the first 11 of those was catching up on his sleep. But Nate kept at it, getting the last of the sticky upside down cake off the pan, working on it until the pan was clean. Finishing the dishes, Nate went on his way, having learned two important lessons. First, don't try to pass off a half-clean cake pan on the goats. But more importantly, anything worth doing is worth doing right. This is an apt metaphor for the scouting journey. Take on challenging tasks, keep at them, press on even when things don't work out. Overcoming a challenge is worth the reward. You're having fun, but you are learning how to contribute to your community and how to succeed as an adult. As an adult leader, there is no greater reward than seeing a scout achieve the rank of Eagle. We know that we have had a part in setting a young person on the way to success, to happiness, to a productive adulthood in whatever path they take. Will the scout join the pantheon of Eagle Scouts? Will they become a president, a successful business owner, a sports hero? I would not be at all surprised if one day in the future I get to tell others about the day I saw Nate Perinpanaygam get his Eagle rank. But even if Nate doesn't become world famous, we know that he will be a success in whatever he chooses to do, because as an Eagle, Nate has already proven that he is a man who can get things done. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, Scouts and Scouters, it is my distinct pleasure and singular honor to present to you Nathan Perinpanaygam, Eagle Scout.
All right, thank you, Jason. So, didn't plan it this way, but Jason brought up a comment in his talk that I wanted to discuss, and the 3 Eagles today are joining the ranks of, the nationwide Eagles that we have out there, and there are some famous Eagle Scouts out there. As Jason said, Gerald Ford, as past president, was one of our Eagle Scouts. Steven Spielberg is an Eagle Scout. Robert Gates, who was Secretary of Defense. Mike Rowe, who is the star of Dirty Deeds that some of you may know. Neil Armstrong, astronaut. James Valentine, the guitarist for Maroon 5. And does anyone know who the Eagle Scout is that plays for the Detroit Lions? David Montgomery, yes. So, so it's athletes, it's musicians, it's politicians, it's astronauts, all kinds of things, all kinds of people go on and have careers in all different areas. So becoming an Eagle just prepares you for whatever challenges in life that you have moving forward and gives you the tools to be successful. So at this point, I'd ask the honor guard to escort Colin Smith to the stage. And at this point, I'd also like to call Connie Nye, crew advisor Connie Nye, back to the stage to introduce Colin.
So, Colin, Mr. Pernick, one time, many times actually, has often counseled me not to ask a question I don't want the answer to. But I think I'm going to give it a shot anyway. Was I your first choice?
Yes.
Yes, there we go. All right. 1 out of 2 isn't bad. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, or at least, making me feel better about myself, right? All right. Colin, so as an associate advisor in the crew, I very often don't get to see these gentlemen and ladies until they are venture aged, right? So I get to hear about them sometimes more often than I would think is healthy. But, I get warned who's coming up and what I should be looking for, but I don't often get to really have any much contact with them until they're 14. And then they have to leave me for every 6 months or so and go downstairs and support the troop. But Colin actually balanced that really well. I got to see him upstairs a little bit more than some of the other scouts. And that made me lucky enough to be able to note, watching him grow up a little bit, right? Not just suddenly see him at 14 and then see him at 17 and go, wow, you got tall. But one of the things that I think Colin will agree with me, and I got to watch him, like I said, grow and mature into the exemplary young man you see here, but it hasn't always been easy. The path that Colin chose, sometimes we would sit down and we would have conversations in the middle of a group, and I would have to convince Colin to get out of his own way, stop being his own worst enemy, listen to what other people had to say, take a deep breath, and just absorb what was happening around him. Colin's brain is never asleep. And when that happens, when you get in a conversation with him, be careful because he's way ahead of you. But that's not always the place to be. And I often have to reflect after these conversations. I'm not often convinced that I didn't get as much out of them as I hope that you did. One of your greatest strengths is the fact that once you set a goal for yourself, whether it's to improve on something or to get something done, you keep at it until it's mastered. I've rarely seen you down on yourself. When something doesn't go according to plan, you might get frustrated, but you don't get down. You don't get, discouraged. You know that you can do it. You know that you're going to be able to do it. You just have to do it a different way. And sometimes that standard you set for yourself, you have to realize that I'm going to get there, but maybe I need to do it a little bit at a time, okay? So let's take cooking, for example. Notice the trend here. So your dad puts everything on Facebook, right? Okay. So a while back, I saw this post talking about your exemplary culinary skills, and I'm like, wait a minute. None of your peers are going to forget that summer camp of the breakfast sausages, okay? When I say hockey puck, I'm being mean to hockey pucks. These things, and the best part of it is, I saw the first batch come out, and they were awful. And I told him, I'm like, we can't eat these. What's going on here? And he never turned down the heat. They all came out like that. There was no changing, nothing. Nope. It was all going to be done on sear, and we just didn't have sausages. But obviously, you wanted to master the skill. And I am assuming that in this day and age, we could probably eat whatever it is you chose to cook for us. That's an example of what I'm pointing out here. Okay. See, Jason, I write things down. It's just, not as eloquent as you are. That's all. Last but not least, you have exhibited the determination and the drive that it takes all of you guys to get here, right? But one of the things that I think you did really well, and it's hard, is you took and you balanced a busy academic life, a busy sport life, and I've watched your bowling career. I think have you ever gotten to 300? You'll get there. You'll get there. Okay. And your scout life, right? And you did it all with grace, and you did it all with joy. And for that, I thank you for all the lessons you taught me, and congratulations on getting Eagle.
All right, thank you, Connie. So, earlier when we talked about Eagle Scouts, we listed some famous Eagle Scouts, but were you aware that just scouting alumni in general, whether they make Eagle Scout or not, 70% of them go on to be military graduates. 72% can be Rhodes Scholars. We have 85% of FBI agents are scouts or were scouts. 65% of college graduates were scouts. 65% of people in the U.S. Congress. 71% of college football captains were scouts. Now, these are not all Eagles. They may not have reached the Eagle rank, but they were scouts, and they learned leadership skills and other skills during that time. And 26 of the first 29 scouts were Boy Scouts. And 11 of the 12 who walked on the moon were also Boy Scouts. And out of those that walked on the moon, 2 were Eagle Scouts. So going through scouting, whether or not you make it to be up on this stage or not, you will learn skills, you will acquire knowledge that will help you for the rest of your life. So, as I said before, 3 out of 100 youth will become Eagle that make it through the scouting program. But just because the other 97 doesn't hit that Eagle doesn't mean that they haven't acquired the skills to be successful at life. So these 3 here have shown that they have surpassed, and they have climbed that mountain and reached that highest rank. So at this time now, what I'd like to do is call up Eagle Scout Scott Waldron, Troop 179, Assistant Scoutmaster, to give the Eagle Scout investiture.
Our Eagle journey is more than what we have today. It becomes our lives. Those that have attained this rank, We've learned so much by being an Eagle. Chuck, Greg Hooker, our whole lives have been based on what Eagle had meant from our youths. I hope as well for those that are here and those that will attain the rank of Eagle, that this truly will be a part of who you are for the rest of your life. To become an Eagle Scout, you have been tested in every area of scouting. Through the ranks of Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, and First Class, you were required to learn scouting skills. You tied knots, found your way with a compass, learned to cook, learned to camp, learned to care for yourself and others. Upon gaining the first class rank, you were ready to enter the next phase of scouting, learning, and leadership. You earned the star and life ranks by earning merit badges. Merit badges which you become a part of every part of your daily living, from cooking to cleaning to electricity to plumbing. These are the things that make us up and who we are and how we can help others and not only ourselves. They teach us the core skills that we need to survive in our daily lives and our homes. Successfully completing the leadership positions in the troop and giving service to your community after earning life rank, you have fully trained for the challenge that scouting presented to you, the Eagle Scout requirements. Requirement 1, challenge you to remain active in scouting. Requirement 2, challenge you to continue to live by the principle of the Scout Oath and Law, to prove that you have done this and that you were required to obtain letters from individuals who you knew personally and would be willing to attest to your conduct as a Scout. Requirement 3, challenge you to earn 21 merit badges, 11 of them required and 10 of them electives. For each of these merit badges, you were required to select and meet with a counselor approved by the Boy Scouts of America and satisfy all the requirements that you were knowledgeable in them. Requirement 4, challenge you to prove your abilities as a leader. You had to secure positions in the troop and be responsible to complete the requirements of the position. You were pushed to be the best leader and meet a standard set by those who held it before you. Requirement 5, challenge you to plan and develop and give leadership to others in a service project that gave benefit to the community. The project was required to be approved by the Scoutmaster, the Troop Committee, and Michigan Crossroads Council. Requirement 6, challenge you to reflect on your future life and write a statement that listed your ambitions and life purpose. You presented this plan to your Scoutmaster, who reviewed it with you and determined if you were fully ready to become an Eagle Scout. Upon completion of these requirements, you came to the final step of your scouting trail, the Board of Review. Your troop committee conducted this Board of Review with a representative from Michigan Crossroads Council in attendance. They reviewed all the requirements to ensure that you met every challenge from Scout to Eagle. At the end of this Board of the Review, our troop committee and the Michigan Crossroads Council forwarded your application to the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America, requesting a review of your application for approval of you as an Eagle Scout. Donald Trump, President of the United States, Robert A. Crone, the Chief Scout of Boy Scouts of America, signed the application of Fernando J. Gonzalez, Nathan P14, and Colin Smith, officially making them Eagle Scouts. Congratulations, gentlemen.
All right, so now, we're giving them all kinds of nice little medals and patches and other awards today, but we have a very special award from our troop. So at this point, I'd like to call up Eagle Scout Mike Schultz, the Troop 179 Assistant Scoutmaster, to award the Troop 179 Eagle Scout Belt Buckle.
There. My name is Michael Schultz, and I want to start off by saying that a highly prized trophy for those scouts and adults who complete a high-adventure backpacking trek at the Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico, I think it was only you, right, Nate? Not? Okay. Is a bronze belt buckle. This is kind of an iconic award or so that people buy on their completion of their trek. And so in that vein, in 2016 for the troop's 50th anniversary, we commissioned custom belt buckles from a New Mexico Eagle Scout that makes the official Philmont buckles. And like the Philmont buckle, it's a bronze finish, and anyone can buy those. I'll talk about that a bit later. But unlike the Olympic Games, like the Olympic Games, there's a hierarchy of medal in Scouts. And unlike the Olympics, bronze is the lowest tier, and then gold, and then the silver is highest, which is the most honored medal, and that's why the Eagle Scout medallion is a silver color. And so in this tradition, we made a special run of the troop buckles in a pewter silver finish that are exclusively for Scouts who have earned the Eagle Scout rank in the troop or the Summit Award in the venturing crew. And today I'm honored to present this special item of recognition. It's unique to the troop and crew that no other units have an award like this. And so the buckle is got the Babe the Blue Ox on there, and the year of our establishment says Troop 179. And so this program was envisioned to be self-funded using no troop funds. So we sell the bronze finish buckles for other Scouters or family or whatever they want as a fundraising effort that goes directly back into the gifting of these buckles. And since we started this in 2016, we've given out 62 of these buckles already, including these today. And which is 23% of the people on that list in the back of your program have received one of these. And so if you're interested in a buckle, come see me anytime, and or contact the people at the troop store. But today I present a silver buckle to these 3 worthy Scouts, and hopefully they'll wear it proudly for the rest of their lives as official part of their uniform or out of uniform. It's not exclusive to the uniform. And on the back of each buckle is stamped a sequential serial number for the Eagle Scout number they are in the troop. Colin Smith is number 261, Fernando Gonzalez is number 262, and Nathan Perinpanaygam is number 265. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mike. So next, I'd like to call up our Eagle Scout Greg Hooker, who is the Troop 179 Assistant Scoutmaster, to give the charge of the Eagle.
All right. So I've been around the troop a fair number of years, and one of the joys that I get is I typically lead high adventures, especially because my boys are now older. Josh graduates this year. So I take the boys on high adventure. It's about the only time I really interact with the teenagers unless they're in trouble. Most of the Eagle Scouts that you'll see up here generally aren't in trouble sometimes, although there are some Eagle Scouts that I've spent an enormous amount of time counseling. These aren't 3 of them. So Fernando's never had the joy of going on a high adventure with me. He's always been busy trying to best his brother at sports. I think being the little brother, he's done that. So at least he'll tell you that. I'm not sure his older brother will admit it. Nathan, I took to Philmont with me. You know, I heard Jason talk about, you know, all the hard work and effort that Nathan put into Philmont, but you know, the guys that were there, like Josh and Trevor and some of the other ones, Nathan was always quiet, never really said anything, and he's really like that way in meetings. About 4 days in, Nathan still got all the energy and pip and vigor of everybody else. Meanwhile, everybody else is starting to drag. As we broke and started hiking after lunch, so one of the Scouts helped Nathan put his pack on, something he had avoided letting anybody do. And we then realized that he was only carrying about 20 pounds, where everybody else was about 40 pounds. So he hid that really well. So there's something to be said for the Eagle Scout that sits quietly in the corner. It keeps his mouth closed. And then Colin went ATVing with me this summer. We took a group of scouts up north to ATV, and I think it was a lot of fun. I think all the boys had a great time. Colin was really interested in ATVing, really loved it, and then he was the first one to crash. So the boys never let him live that one down. So you know that the first one who gets in an accident is the one that always gets the most ridicule. So the charge of the Eagle is something that only an Eagle Scout can deliver to other Eagle Scouts, and it's a talk about what your responsibilities are as an Eagle Scout. So I'm only one of many Eagle Scouts, and at this time I'd have all the other Eagle Scouts in the room come forward. It's a tradition we have in this troop, so that you can see all the Eagle Scouts that you represent. Not you yet, Trevor. All right. Now, if I could get the Eagle Scouts up here to stand up front and center. All right, these are the Eagle Scouts that you now represent. So I have the honor of giving you the Eagle Charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest award in scouting. The Scouts of all nations constitutes one of the most wholesome and significant movements in this world's history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are now marked men. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to your duty to God, to country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother Scouts. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these things depend for the most part of the quality of her citizens. Our country has had a great past, but you can help it become an even greater future. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and your fellow man. So live and serve that you know that you have inspired others to finer living. We have too many who use their strengths and their brains to exploit the others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate your skill and ability to the common good. Build America on a solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and a reverence for God. And for what others may do, you will leave behind you a record which every Scout will be justly proud. I'm now going to ask the Eagle Scouts standing on stage to rededicate themselves by repeating the Scout oath. Repeat it slowly as the other Eagles stand before you. Resolve to uphold forever its principles with the same ambition and perseverance that have brought you this far. Scout signs. On my honor.
I'll do my best to do my duty to guide my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
2. Your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have now rededicated yourselves to the principles of scouting, but one more thing is important. And again, that is your future. As an Eagle Scout, you become a guide to other Scouts. You become an example in your community. And remember that your actions are now a little bit more conspicuous, and people will now expect even more from you. To falter in your responsibility not only reflects upon you, but all your fellow Eagle Scouts and all of Scouting. The torch that you carry is not only yours, but it is also all of ours. Thank you.
Okay, so Now the moment is at hand. I'd like to call up Eagle Scout Chuck Williams, our Troop 179 Scoutmaster, for the presentation of the Eagle rank.
Well, hello. What a great crowd. You guys drew a big group, that's for sure. So, as Scoutmaster, I've been doing this now for close to 50 years. And this is one of the best times each year, a couple times a year, that I get to come up here and present Scouts that I've known for the last 7 years and are now big young men ready to face the world. And I'm proud to be a part of each and every one of their lives. Sorry. Anyways, for all of us leaders that are in the troop, this is payday. This is the day that we get to see the culmination of everything that we've done during those 7 years to make this young man into the person that he is today, and to do as much as we could to round off the sharp edges. All right, so where are we going to start? We're going to start with Fernando?
Yep.
Okay. Fernando, if you and your parents could please stand center stage up here. The Boy Scouts of America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Fernando J. Gonzalez of Troop 179 in Farmington Hills, Michigan, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank. Fernando Gonzalez, our newest Eagle. All right, Nathan, your turn. And then can I have the Perinpanaygams please come forward? The Gonzaleses are old hands at this. This is their second Eagle. This is the Perinpanaygams' first Eagle. You get to practice here and get it right for when Jeremy comes up in a year or two. Please stay there. One more thing. I'm waiting for it.
Oh, I forgot to bring it to Chuck. Or can't read it.
All right. The Boy Scouts of America are proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Nathan Perinpanaygam of Troop 179, Farmington Hills, Michigan, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank. Nathan Perinpanaygam, people. Thanks. Oh, I'm sorry. This is your turn, Colin. Come on up. And can I have the Smiths please come forward and stand with their son? So sometimes even more special, this is the Smiths' only son that I know of, and he's getting his Eagle Scout rank today. The Boy Scouts of America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Colin Michael Smith of Troop 179, Farmington Hills, Michigan, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank. Colin Smith. I'm waiting for him to sit down. And can I have all three of you guys come up here? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present Troop 179's newest Eagle Scouts.
All right. So now the fun part. So do any of you have a preference on who goes first? Okay, so we'll keep it in the same order. So now I'd like to call up Fernando to give a little talk here. So Fernando?
Alrighty, good evening. So I've been a part of scouting pretty much for my whole life. So I wanted to start out kind of at least from what I can remember. And that was when my scout journey began as like a kindergartner, as my brother and his bear den in the Cub Scouts were building a wooden toolbox. Now, there was something about it that I remember the event so vividly that I wanted to begin participating as I saw how much fun they were having being a part of Scouts. So from there, I began joining events and then eventually joining Pack 238 as a Tiger and then leaving as a Weeblo. My brother and father played a key role while I was there, especially in Scouts as a general, as they would help me and kind of inspire me to do stuff like building Pinewood Derby cars and selling popcorn. I also wanted to try as much as I could in Cub Scouts, eventually obtaining the Super Achiever, which was obtaining every pin that was available, and then getting my arrow blade as well. And then moving on to Troop 179, it was a relatively easy decision for me as my brother was currently attending there, and I also knew that I would be joining one of the best troops in the state, so it was pretty easy from there. From there, I was able to build relationships and grow as a learner through many different positions that I held. A couple that I valued the most was my role as patrol leader and the honor patrol of the Axemen, and then also being able to give back to the youth as a troop guide for the new Scouts. I was able to build, and I really value all the information that I was able to receive from others in the process and learn as an individual. For my Eagle Scout project, I worked with the local city of Wixom to restore some bike art. So it was kind of a creative process for me, and it meant a lot to me as I was able to kind of give back to my local community. So this involved getting in touch with the Downtown Development Authority, the police department, and local hardware stores in the area to get donations. And then I was able to use connections through football and National Honor Society to get volunteers for my project. And we were able to have the bikes repainted and rust-free in time for the city's 4th of July celebration and have those out and looking nice for the city. So overall, it was a very valuable experience, and it meant a lot to give back to my local community. And then I just want to give a quick thank you for all the people who have played a part in my journey in Scouts. So my dad, who was always there, and he was always the first to offer up his help, whether it be in popcorn or being just a role model for me in my scouting adventures. My mom, who pushed me to become an Eagle Scout and pretty much did all the work behind the scenes and helped form me into the man I am today. My older brother, Carlos, who was also an Eagle Scout, so he inspired me to become a Scout in the first place and helped pave a path for me. My younger sister, Mari, who always had my back in my decision-making and was just always there for me. And then I'd also like to give a special thank you to the scouting leaders, some who weren't able to make it today, Mr. Effersey and Mr. Philibom, who have kind of become mentors for me. Mrs. Nye, who has had to put up with me in my adventure days. Mr. Brown, who helped me throughout the Eagle Scout process. And then obviously Scoutmaster Chuck, who kind of let me be a part of scouting and then all the sports and extracurricular activities that I was a part of. So he helped me a lot navigating my scouting journey. And then I also like to just give a big thank you to everyone who came out and supported me today. It means a lot seeing everyone and playing a part in my journey. And then I just like to give a big thank you to all those who came out, and yeah, Thank you.
All right. So thank you, Fernando. So now, Nathan, we'll have you come up and give a few words as well.
Good evening, everyone. So first off, I want to thank all of you guys for being here today to celebrate this special moment with me. It's been quite a journey, and I wouldn't be standing here without the incredible support from my family, my friends, my fellow scouts, and of course, my amazing leaders and mentors. So my scouting venture started in 2012, 2013 when I was 6 years old. I joined Pack 321 at Beachview Elementary. I didn't really know what I was getting into, but it didn't take long for me to realize that scouting was something special. Unfortunately, Pack 321 eventually closed down, but that didn't stop me. I finished Cub Scouts with Pack 110 at Our Lady of Sorrows, Farmington Hills, and from there, I had a big decision to make. What Boy Scout troop would I join? That's where Troop 179 comes in. So now, I can sit up here and tell you the reason I joined Troop 179 was because of the strong leadership, the amazing opportunities, or the great group of scouts that has all come out of this program. But to be completely honest, the deciding factor was not all of that what I just stated before. It was actually the food at Weeblos Fest. I remember thinking if they put this much effort into their camp meals, this is definitely the troop for me. And I have to say I have no regret about that decision. Troop 179 gave me experiences I'll never forget. I was a proud member of the Honorable Axeman Patrol, where I learned not only how to survive in the wild, but I also learned how to teach and guide younger scouts, passing on the same knowledge and values that were originally taught and shared with me. Along the way, scouting taught me things like leadership, responsibility, teamwork, and of course, how to start a fire in any condition. One of the biggest highlights of my scouting journey was Philmont. It was an incredible adventure filled with breathtaking views, exhausting hikes, and unforgettable memories. I had the honor of going with some amazing people, Trevor Ulmer, Josh Hooker, Nate Hooker, George Alexander, Daniel Witzel, Edison Eimel, Norman Clollander, and Jonas Reese. Together, we faced the challenges of the backcountry, supporting each other through the toughest climbs, and probably ate more trail mix than any human should ever consume. But what I cherish the most isn't the adventure itself, but the friendships, bonds, and brotherhood we built and created along the way. None of this would be possible without the guidance and support of so many people. First of all, I would like to thank my parents for introducing me to scouting, Mr. Pernick for introducing me to this incredible journey. A huge thanks to Chuck, Mr. Hooker, and Mr. Effersey for being such great mentors and role models. Your leadership, wisdom, and patience have had a huge impact on me, and I truly appreciate all you've done. I'd also like to thank Mr. Brown for guiding me through my Eagle Scout project for building my fence. Your help was beneficial and couldn't have been done without you. Scouting has shaped me in ways I've never imagined, and I know the lessons I learned will stay with me for the rest of my life. I'm grateful for every camp out, every meeting, every merit badge, summer camp, and every time I beat Trevor at basketball in summer camp. And lastly, every late night campfire conversation I had in scouting. This journey has been unforgettable, and I'm excited to see where life takes me next. Thank you all for being a part of my scouting experience and for celebrating this milestone with me today. It means the world to me, and thank you.
All right. And finally, I call up Colin Smith to make his comments. And one thing is Colin's coming up here. These three youth, these three youth, I remember when they were in the traditional program, it would have been very difficult for them to get up here and give a speech with that many words in front of this many people. So scouting has not only taught them a lot, but it's helped them even be able to present in front of a large crowd. So just another thing that they've learned along the way. So Colin.
Good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor to stand before you today as an Eagle Scout. This journey has been one of adventures, challenges, and growth that would not have been possible without the guidance and support and encouragement of so many people in my life. First and foremost, I want to express my deepest gratitude to my family, especially to my parents, who have supported me every step of the way and encouraged me to push forward even when the trail was tough. Your unwavering belief has been my greatest motivation. And now to my troop leaders, with your mentorship and also my fellow scouts, thank you so much for teaching me the values of leadership, service, and perseverance. Your guidance has definitely shaped me into the person I am today. Scouting has given me countless opportunities to learn and grow. From camping in the wilderness to serving in my community, I've discovered the true meaning of responsibility, resilience, and teamwork. Each merit badge and every service project that we did, Eagle or at a camp out, and all the late nights preparing for campouts have definitely contributed to this moment. One of the most defining aspects of my journey was my Eagle Scout project. It was more than just a requirement. It was a chance to make a meaningful impact. Throughout this project, I learned the importance of planning, leadership, and working together to create something that benefits others. It reinforced the idea that true leadership is not about doing everything yourself, but helping and working with others and empowering those around you. The rank of Eagle Scout is not just an achievement, it's a lifelong commitment. It is a promise to continue living by the Scout oath and law, to always strive to be a learner in my community and serve others with integrity and kindness. As I reflect on this journey, I realize that this is definitely not the end, but the beginning of new opportunities to lead and give back. The skills and values I have gained through scouting will stay with me as I move forward in my life, guiding my choices. Now to all my other scouts that have not yet reached Eagle. Your journey is definitely not done. You guys have time left. I encourage you to embrace the challenges ahead and don't give up even though it looks like you should. The road to Eagle is definitely not easy, trust me. All the three of us definitely know this very well. But it's worth every step. Keep striving, keep learning, and most importantly, keep serving others. Thank you again to everyone who's been part of my scouting journey. I am honored and humbled to join the ranks of Eagle Scout and look forward to the responsibilities that come with achievement. Thank you.
Okay, so after we're done in here this evening, on behalf of the families, please join us for refreshments in the fellowship hall. And then really, again, just on behalf of Troop 179, I'd like to congratulate Fernando, Nathan, and Colin. Have you guys stand up again. So thank you all for coming, and I now declare this Eagle Court of Honor closed. Thank you.